finance meeting this morning, Tuesday, February 11th. Roll call, please.
Commissioner LaHaye.
Here.
Commissioner Ludlow.
Here.
Commissioner Bray. Here. Commissioner Fournier. Here. Commissioner Britton.
Here.
Commissioner Konashevsky.
Here.
Commissioner Kozlowski.
Here.
Commissioner Peterson.
Here. Here, the rise from pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You have the agenda in front of you. Is there any additions or corrections to the agenda? Make a motion to adopt the agenda. Motion by Commissioner Hay, support. Second by Commissioner Britton. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign, carried. Public comment. Public want to comment? Anybody online? Okay, we'll close public comment. Mandy,
We adopt the agenda. Sorry.
So I turned in probably more information than you guys even needed for simple approval to apply for the grant, but I just wanted to make sure you guys knew what all we were planning to do and why. So I don't know if you all had a chance to look at it, but if you have any questions, I can try to answer it for you.
this is basically what we do every year.
It's a new program. We're getting a new software provider, so it is a little different, but I mean,
Basically the same, just different providers.
yes. And this one, there's some grants being offered right now when counties are doing things like this that will help offset some of the costs. So just asking for permission to apply for that.
And this had grant approval too, grant committee approval, so.
Right.
Any questions for Mandy?
Yeah, I got a couple
Okay.
questions. So in your first letter, you said something about $12,000 over 2 different years. And then when I read the information on the grant, it actually said 24,000. The organizational match was 24,000. So is that still going to be 12,000 for 2 years, or is it?
It is. It's 12,000 this year and then 12,000 next year. The most we can get is 12,000 in 1 year. So I'm going to apply for 12 this year and then get the other 12 next year. But this Fiddler Technologies will work with us billing wise to where we won't have to pay that whole 24 upfront because it's a reimbursement grant, as most of them are. So they'll work with us so that the 12,000 will come out this year and the other 12 next year.
Okay. And then the second question that I have is the 69,000 for the county match. Do we have that? Have you got that set aside somewhere for?
Yes, so I've spoken with Logan about this. The payment every year for our current software provider comes out of his budget. So I've already spoken with him to make sure that's accounted for. And in case it's not, we always have our automation fund to cover any over expenses. So that should be set. And also Fiddler, who's very excited for our business, is willing to work with us also in any other way. Billing us some this year, some next year, because we'd be signing a 3-year contract. So
that 69 would be divided over, or whatever the.
yes, that's over 3 years. It's 93,000 total for the next 3 years altogether. And then the 24,000 grant, and that leaves 69 total. And they can bill us however we need to be billed. And this is all less than what we're paying with our current software provider.
Sure.
Way more services and security and everything.
Chairman, also, I stopped in and talked to Logan yesterday. I thought he'd be here today, but he also assured me this money won't touch the general budget. So this is all going to be accounted for either through money that's already budgeted or, as Mandy said, through grants. So we don't have to worry about it affecting the bottom line.
Okay.
Any other questions? So make a motion that motion by Commissioner LaHaye to approve the grant. Support.
I'll support.
Commissioner, supported by Commissioner Bray. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes.
Commissioner Britton,
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mandy. Action item number one, committee recommends to pay all the bills as submitted. Anybody have any questions on that bills?
I had a couple questions, actually. Does anybody know if the taxes are squared away with the airport? I did not see anything in there for that.
What kind of taxes?
Sales tax.
Yeah,
The last I heard, it was going to our accountants and I haven't heard anything from them.
okay. I didn't see anything in there for the accountants or for that.
I haven't seen anything on it. I just got a message from Steve that he was taking it to one of our accountants and that's the last I heard on it.
Okay. So I guess I'll get with Bill after and we can talk about that because those fines just continue to incur for us. So,
Is that for the fuel?
yeah, for the sales tax that's due on the fuel.
Okay.
And I had another question as well, but I'll get with Steve or Mick and see if we can figure out. We're getting fuel that says from Blarney Castle also at the airport. But I thought all of our fuel is coming from Ave Fuel.
Is Steve on?
Oh, everything.
Hello, Steve. Got some questions for you.
Sure.
Hey, good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
I was just looking over this, looks like we had a fuel bill from Blarney Castle also out there.
Yes, Blarney Castle delivers our diesel fuel for the snow removal equipment. So that's totally separate from any sort of sales. That's us buying from them.
Okay, so that's not something we get from Ave Fuel as well?
No, they don't deal in diesel fuel.
Okay. All right, and have you heard anything from the accountants or anybody on the tax situation?
I sent a second email on Monday asking for a memorandum or a letter or a contract. And because this is tax season, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised it's taking them time to get back to us, but yeah,
Okay.
I'm definitely engaged with them and just waiting for them to get back with me about taking it all over because we got all the information packaged up and ready to send.
Okay. All right, sounds good. We'll get back with you on that one, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions for the bills?
Yes, I do.
One
Sorry.
more.
Question for Eric. All the new charges for Shield Occupational, is that your cost?
Nope, I actually looked into that. I just went over to the clerk's office and that's through drug court.
Okay,
So it has nothing to do with the sheriff.
okay.
Because I kind of noticed that. I'm like 53 individuals. I'm like, that work. And it's something that Shell told me that they normally get them, but not as many as we just got.
Okay. All right, and that's all the questions I have.
Anybody else?
Nope, good.
I need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Konashevsky, support
Support.
by Mr. God, I gotta go Kozlowski and the Ks. Any more? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray,
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier, Commissioner Britton,
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, treasurer's report.
Okay, we did not print out copies for everybody this time, so hopefully that was okay, that you could receive them online. Need a printed copy, we can also get those to you if you need them. So the general fund unrestricted fund balance for 25 is $3,597,408.09. The total revenues collected through January 31st, $620,498.03, which is up a little bit from last year. Also, total expenditures made through January 31st were up of $1,214,411.98. The fund balance for general fund only through the 31st is $3,003,494.14, leaving us an unreserved fund balance of $3,093,838.69, and the reserved of $268.14. So, budget should be at 9% for January. And we're at 4.90 for revenues and 9.59 in expenditures. The next sheet was just the revenue and expense for January. You can see just we did the 5-year, 2020 through 2025 on there, so you could see it. Revenue for January was 620,498.03, an expense of 1,214,411.98. And then the back sheets are the revenue and expense report, comparing the 2 years, like you used to get on the spreadsheet. And we found this is something we can print out, on BSNA system. So there's a list of those along with the percentage of budget used for those as well.
Question from Cindy? Entertain a motion to receive the file. I'll make the motion by Commissioner LaHaye, support.
Support.
Commissioner Fournier. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carried. Jesse.
Sure. So as everyone knows, we've taken over control of the Plaza Pool for the time being. And as such, Kim Bolodowski has a number of things that she's been ordering. Right now, she's been piecemealing it together ordering it through Wes or through our office. We'd like to get her a credit card to use. And I'm open to suggestions as far as what the limitations would be for that. But we'd just like to do that to make it streamline the process, make it easier for her to get things ordered when they need to be ordered.
Have you set a limit on it, Jesse?
I think it traditionally hasn't been 500.
It depends on what unit has the card, I guess. But yeah, I would say that's a good amount.
We usually set 500. I would say, let's start there. And if we need to adjust, we can always revisit.
Did I entertain a motion to get a credit card deposit approval for $500? I'll make that motion. Motion by Commissioner Britton, support
I'll support.
by Commissioner Fournier. Any
Just so,
discussion?
yeah, the credit card isn't just for 500, it's a one-time purchase of 500.
Yep, yep.
We'll make sure she gets the guidelines and everything with the card.
Wait, do you want the limit to also be 500 on the card?
No, just her spending power to be 500 per.
I was gonna say,
Spend 500
One time.
without,
Right.
okay.
so we have a list of credit cards and I remember there's I can't remember, there's like the amount that it's up to, like spending limit for the year or whatever, is that, or?
There's a limit per branch, like I think mine is 1,500.
Okay, is that, it's been a while since I've seen the,
When I called the credit union, they said they need to know what credit limit we want to have on the card. It also now has to go in that person's name. So if they do not have any accounts with Alpena Alcona where we have our credit cards, we have to have all their personal information in order to be able to issue one as well.
yeah, because what was that, like a year or so ago that we had to switch it all?
Yeah.
I think the 1,500 would be fine as far as the credit limit with $500 per purchase.
So that's like a month then, right? So it would be 1,500 per month, but a $500 per transaction.
Correct.
Everybody all set? We'll call, please.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes.
Commissioner Britton,
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, that ends this portion of Ways and Means. I need a motion to rise and report.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Konashevsky, support by Commissioner LaHaye. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Carried. It's all yours, John.
Okay, so the first item that I have is the consent calendar. Is there anything that anybody had questions on or wanted to pull from the consent calendar? If not, I'd look for a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I'll make a motion to approve it as presented.
We have a motion by
Second.
Commissioner Britton and support by Bill. So did I hear somebody else say something? Okay, so all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
No, it's gotta be.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, roll call.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow.
Yes.
Commissioner Bray,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson.
Yes.
Commissioner Fournier,
Yes.
Commissioner Britton,
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky, Commissioner Kozlowski.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next item is Jesse again, on your three items.
The first one's on the PFAS litigation. We were approached by the same attorneys that worked for us doing the opioid remediation lawsuit. Approached us on doing a class action on the PFAS litigation that's sweeping around the state. And I believe they're also dealing with a couple of other states as well. They approached us, wanted to know if we'd be interested. This is a no risk lawsuit. We don't pay anything up front. They basically take money off of whatever final number is that we settle at. I think they get 25%. The funds that we would receive could go toward anything dealing with PFAS. It actually, they said, comes with no strings attached, so it could even go outside of that realm possibly. We had a couple of ideas when we spoke with them about running service lines to affected households in the area, or possibly doing water utility development at the airport properties, amongst other things. Again, it's no risk. We can go in for this, and if they win, we get funds, and if they don't, it doesn't cost us a dime. So just looking for approval to go ahead and sign that contract with them and enter the lawsuit.
And so I'd look for a motion to approve, bring into the PFAS litigation with the attorneys that presented this to us.
I'll
And
make the motion.
so we have a motion by Commissioner Bray,
And I'll support.
support by Commissioner Fournier. It's actually the same exact attorney that came to us. That for those actually would be just Bill, Brenda, and myself, but it is the same attorney that originally presented the opioid stuff to us that we talked to, what was it, last Friday?
Yeah.
So, and then just one note, and I don't know if you know this is in contract, but basically the attorneys will get 25% of whatever is awarded to them. But is there any other questions? If not, look for, we have a motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passed.
The next item is the emergency management position with Mount Morency County. Over the past few months, we've been in negotiations with Mount Morency and the possibility of teaming up and hiring one emergency manager, which would oversee both counties. Our current emergency manager has been extremely helpful during these discussions. She would be moving over full-time to 911. Just as a reminder, the 911 fund works separately from the general budget, and there are enough funds in there to take her on full-time. As far as the emergency management position with Mount Morency, I've given you all kind of a couple of facts about that, but in essence, it would be a cost savings to our county to do this. What I'm looking for today is, I guess, the board to approve us moving forward with this, assigning the chairman or myself to finalize the job posting with Mount Morency and finalizing the contractual agreement with them. That agreement would then come before the full board before signature, but we'd at least be working on the language. And then finally, the appointment of a board to do the interview process. Mount Morency County had recommended, and we agreed that it sounded okay at the time. That would be both chairs from each county, myself and my counterpart, April, over Mount Morency, our current emergency manager, Kim Elke, and Sergeant Castor, who oversees emergency management throughout the state of Michigan. They would be interviewing the individuals. Our hope is to have this position filled by April 1st.
Okay, so I'd look for a motion that we approve moving forward with filling the emergency management position with Mount Morency. I'll make the motion. So we have a motion.
I'll support it.
Commissioner LaHaye, support by Commissioner Peterson. Any discussion? Any questions? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
And finally, the Michigan Earned Sick Time Act policy for full and part-time employees. This is a gift that keeps on giving because the law goes into effect on the 21st. And as of 11 a.m. this morning, the Senate will be taking up their own version of the bill with a lot of changes. So we don't know yet what's going to happen. This may result in a poll vote having to occur between now and the next meeting. but we can't really write the policy until we know what the law is. I can tell you that the Senate version is not the one that the Michigan Association of Counties likes. They prefer the House version, which is currently set. So again, we'll see what happens today. I'll be monitoring that meeting, that session starts at 11 a.m. today. So I should have an answer hopefully by the close of business as to what direction they're leaning. Again, this will probably be a poll vote, but wanted to make sure that you guys were aware, because I know we've been talking about it, that we're trying our best to get something in place. It's just state of Michigan dragging their feet and not sure really what they want to do yet. So,
until we know further, we can't approve anything.
yeah, we actually just found out about the session taking place in the Senate, that they were taking it up yesterday. So,
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I still, as I've mentioned before, to you, Jesse, that the part-time thing, I kind of have a problem with it. And again, I know we can't really do anything about it, but you know, you guys are probably both interested in what happens, because this could affect you guys personally. So,
People.
Yeah, me too.
oh, yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
big
But
time.
yeah, it's unbelievable, really, but it's hard to say how the dust is gonna.
Well, the part-time thing, I just have a problem, because I mean, if you're part-time, how do you need time off how do you get paid medical leave for part-time employees? So,
And the rules are so vague and
Yeah.
broad, it's crazy.
agreed.
they just, I thought, you just mentioned to me yesterday that they just changed the number of which small business went from 10 to 25 or something?
25 to 50
25 to
is the two numbers, and that's still under, depending on which version of the bill you're looking at, whether it's Senate or House. So again, hopefully we'll know more by the end of business today. Again, we didn't know the Senate was going to be taking up their own version today. That's why this is on the agenda. We were hoping to move on this, but now that we know there may be changes before it hits the governor's desk, we're kind of just in a holding room, I guess.
Okay.
Be considered part-time. Is there a certain amount of hours they have to work?
There was,
I think
Two
it was
yeah,
in the new version that they're trying to get past. If you work under 25 hours, you're excluded. If you work under 25 hours per week, that would exclude you from the sick time policy. But that's the new version. That's not even
Yeah,
passed yet.
I've seen a different,
Yeah, there's,
I got a lot of part-timers, but, so, yeah,
but
I'm just
I
waiting.
think part-time is actually considered as 30 hours or less.
and that's what the House version has. The Senate version changes that. So,
Okay, so more to come then on this.
and again, this is probably going to be a poll vote. So just once that goes out, we'll obviously do our normal follow-up with phone calls, text messages to make sure you guys are checking your emails. If it is something, my guess is that this is going to go right up till, possibly the day up. So who knows?
Okay. Okay, we'll move on, I guess. Actually, we're back at public comment again. Anybody would like to speak at public comment? Online? No? Okay, moving on, I'd look for a motion to adjourn. I'll make the motion. Make motion by Commissioner Lahaye. Support by Commissioner Fournier. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.